Okay, here is a definition of the derivative question that I just made up. These are numbers, these are different from the ones on the practice exam, but they're good to practice with. Okay, it's just, the function is 7x squared plus x, and it says use the definition of the derivative. Okay, to obtain the derivative of the function. So, f prime of x is limit h goes to 0, f of x plus h, and this is just, if you can't remember this, this is something you should put on your little card, this little formula here, right there. That is the definition of the derivative, and you should have that memorized, right, like this, in any color you want. There you go. Alright, so let's do this. The important part that students often have trouble with is the f of x plus h part. So let's pull that off separate. Hi, Theodore. Okay, so you just make your template for your 7x squared plus x, and then you dump in, instead of where you would normally put x, you put x plus h. You can take it out and put it on the table. Okay, so you would just expand this. Okay, and then you just expand this. You expand this like so. There we go. And all that is just f of x plus h. There we go. Now we put everything together. So f prime of x is limit as h goes to 0. There we go. Put the same stuff right over here. But then I'm going to subtract f of x. So here's another problem students often have. When you distribute the negative, you have to remember if there's two pieces in your function, you have to subtract them both out. So that's a warning right there. So don't make that mistake if there's two pieces in your function. Okay, now this happens all the time. You should expect it to happen. Any pieces that don't have h's attached to them, like 7x squared doesn't have an h, there should be two of them, a plus one and a minus one. So that all the pieces that remain should have an h. So let me just sort of highlight this. There's an h here. There's an h times h over here. There's an h over here. There's an h over here. And those h's are now going to cancel, except the h squared, only one of them can cancel. So what that means is f prime of x limit as h goes to 0. We haven't gotten rid of that yet, but we are now getting closer because we have 14x times h plus 7. And just to stress this, I'm going to write this the following way, h times h, so you can see exactly what's canceling. So one h from each term cancels. Here's something tricky. The h canceled, there's still a 1, right? Because that was 1 times h. Okay. And what do we have? We have 14x plus 7h plus 1. Now h goes to 0, and you can finally drop these at the same time. You can't drop the limit sign as h goes to 0 until you're willing to drop all the h's that remain. Okay, now there's your answer. Now you go back and we use our rules and we say, aha, this would be 7 times 2 is 14, x plus 1. So we're happy.